Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kayla and this is my journey in pregnancy. So today we are officially through the first trimester. And I know everyone counts the first trimester ending at different points. Some 12 weeks, some 13 weeks, some 14 weeks. But I counted at like 12 weeks and right now I'm 13 weeks and 3 days. So between that range, I'll be 14 weeks soon, so it'll be official. But yes, it is a winter pregnancy where it's easier to not feel so good because it's cold outside. And when I get to the uncomfortable stage towards the end, it'll be just beginning to get warm. So it's perfect. When I'm doing my 6 weeks of healing after birth, 6 to 8 weeks, it's not, that's the hottest part of the summer. So we'll be inside with the baby, bonding that way, not worrying about being too hot outside. I won't be able to swim, obviously. So it's perfect timing. This is like the ideal time to have gotten pregnant, get through the first trimester, have a glorious second trimester, and then to get through the third trimester not being too uncomfortable. And also, most people take their baby moon during the second trimester, and that is right now. And we're about to go on our baby moon to Panama City Beach, Florida, here in about 3 weeks. So we'll be around almost 16 weeks pregnant then, and we haven't been back since our honeymoon, which is over 5.5 years ago. So it's just kind of bittersweet. We always picture going to Hawaii for our baby moon, but with the pandemic and just my pregnancy, I don't feel comfortable being that far away from my doctors, or something happening, I don't want it to be in Hawaii, far away. So we'll just do that on our 10-year wedding anniversary. So here in about 4.5 years, we'll plan a trip after we've had our kids. So yeah, so I don't take a moment for granted. I know I am extremely grateful to be this far in my pregnancy. This is, the end of my first trimester, and I honestly didn't picture getting this far. And I'm just so grateful this baby is healthy. Little baby boy is doing fantastic, little Connor. And I'm so grateful, and I don't take a moment for granted. And God has blessed us, and I just continue to pray every day that he is strong and healthy and continues to grow and have a strong heartbeat and everything will be okay. And I pray smooth sailing the rest of the time too, the last 27-ish weeks. My prediction is he'll come early June instead of mid-June on his due date. His due date is June 12th if you count the first day of my last menstrual cycle starting, but if you count how the baby's measuring, because I always ovulate 3 days late, he is 3 days behind that day, which makes sense. So his due date, what he's measuring, is June 15th. But yes, back to the first trimester update. So I'm finally feeling better, thank the Lord. My nausea is starting to subside. I'm only feeling yucky around nighttime, which is weird because it's morning sickness. And I know it's typically all day sickness, but for it just to be at night, and that's been like that for a while, it's kind of cruel. But I'm finally feeling better. I'm able to eat a lot more. I've been able to eat a lot more since about 9 weeks. But I keep losing weight. And the doctor's not concerned. I've only lost about 8 pounds total. And I've started at a healthy weight, so he's not concerned. But I don't know how I keep losing weight because I've been eating so much because I have to in order to feel better and keep the nausea at bay. So I'm not quite sure how that works. But I think I'm just losing weight everywhere on my body besides my stomach, and it's just kind of going there. And I'm not showing as much as a typical 13.5-week pregnant person because I have an anterior placenta, which keeps the baby close to me. So I think that's quite interesting. I was like, why? That's hilarious, because I did think I was really small, but that's why. So I'm going to do a quick bump shot to show you guys, and I'll do from the front and the side so you can see my progression. I started off pretty flat, and now it's just kind of like a bump you can't suck in, and it's just there, especially after I eat. So here we go. Okay, so this is the straight on shot. You really can't tell, and this is also a baggy sweatshirt. You can see a little bit. Side view. You see, it's just that little pudge there, right below the belly button, that when you suck in, it doesn't go away. or if you just sit normal. There's little baby Connor. So hard to believe he's in there. It's so hard to believe he's in there because I can't feel anything yet. I've been anxiously paying attention, waiting for kicks. They say like you probably won't feel anything until like, I think the earliest is like 14 weeks and like the latest is like 22 weeks or something, 23 weeks. But I'm hoping to feel them a little sooner. I'm trying to pay attention, and people will say that they'll miss it because they think it's gas bubbles. So I'm trying to even look for gas bubbles, even though, what does that feel like? I mean, I feel like not many people have that. But also, we've been monitoring her every 2 weeks, pretty much this whole time, just with my history, and I'm grateful for my doctor for doing that. And he listens to my concerns, and we got to see him actually 2 days ago. And I was measuring 12 weeks in 5 days, and little Connor was jumping around in there, and I was so grateful because the last ultrasound he was sleeping and didn't move, and that's always concerning. It's like, move! Even poking him, he wouldn't move. You know, you can see his little heart flutter, but it's like, why isn't he moving? They're like, oh, he's sleeping. It's like, sleeping? I didn't know they could sleep. I didn't think they had the mental capacity yet to even sleep at that small of a development, apparently. But yeah, so 2 days ago, he was jumping around, and you could see his little arm or leg move, and his feet look fantastic. You can see his knees, his thighs, his calves. You can see his elbow, his arm, upper arm, lower arm, hand, fingers, his head, his spine, his side profile, nose, mouth, and we could see that last time too, the side profile. But this was the first time actually seeing his limbs long, stretched out, and moving. And it was so precious. I'll just show you the ultrasound pictures. But one of them, his hand was like this, and we're looking from behind. And like his little pinky was just out like tea time. It was so cute. And one of the shots we got was just, he was sprawled out, like you can see from head to knee, joint to feet. I mean, just all of him right there. And then at the very end, he showed us a good between the legs shot at 12 weeks and 5 days. And there was his boy parts right there. And the ultrasound tech was like, I've never in all my years been able to see the parts this early on. And Cody was very, very proud. But isn't that interesting? I think Connor was trying to tell us, hey, I'm a boy for sure. Everyone make that known and clear. Just wanted you to know. Because we've done the genetic testing, which, thank the Lord, all the results came back completely normal. But it showed he was also a boy because we did the sneak peek test. And so, it's like, well, thank goodness. We have 3 confirmations. Now, the last confirmation would be when he's actually born. And, like, it's already set. Like, we've seen his ding-a-ling, so. So, it's set in stone. So, the genetic testing we did was at the 10-week along blood draw, and they just test for sex chromosome abnormalities, which there were none, Down syndrome, trisomy 13 and trisomy 15, I believe. No, yeah, 13 and 18. Trisomy 13 and 18, and he didn't have that. We do another amniocentesis genetic testing at 16 weeks. I think I'm saying that right. And yeah, I think that's right. And that's just a simple blood draw for me as well. And yeah, and like I said, we did the sneak peek blood draw at 7 weeks, 7.5 weeks along, and that told us initially that the gender, and that's how we had the gender reveal to know he was a boy early on. So early on. I will do that every pregnancy. And to answer also another question, how many kids will we have? Well, I think it largely depends on how we feel after 2 and the genders. You know, if our second kid's a girl, it'd probably be hard to have a third, but likewise, on the other hand, if the second's a boy, it's that really awful position you're in of, do I risk having a third boy and trying for a girl and just end up with having 3 boys, or do I just not, and you never know. And that's just an awful feeling. And then when you have the 3 boys, you risk it again, have 4 boys. You know, it's just, I don't want to be put in that position, and I pray to God every day, the babies are just healthy, but to not put me in that position. I want it to be clear, we have a girl second, and then if we want to have a third kid, it's completely our decision of we feel like we want one more to complete our family. If it's the second boy, that's great, which it would probably be fantastic. But I want to be clear. Maybe God's going to have like this crazy delivery for my second baby where it's obvious it's not going to be safe to have a third. Maybe that could be the clear path. I don't know. I want some sort of peace after the second baby of what to do for the future. I'd be open to having 3, but I don't like taking chances of it could be 3 boys. Nothing wrong with 3 boys, but for me there's something wrong with that. That's too much for me. I'll just say it right now. That is way too much for me. Props to my mother-in-law who did that. That's a lot. And also it's a lot to have 3 pregnancies on your body, you know, back to back, because I would like my kids 2 years apart, Lord willing. But yeah, so back to my pregnancy. At 5 weeks along to 10 weeks along, so 5-week period, I took progesterone supplements every single day at night, and I just took that in my mouth, and that helped the baby progress until my placenta took over fully at 10 weeks, which produces its own for the baby. So that was basically just supporting my body, which I have always struggled with low progesterone levels, not low enough to not be able to conceive, luckily, but low enough where miscarriage is prevalent, and we think that's what happened last time. And you know, when we got my blood drawn the first time, you know, the first three times every other day in the very beginning after my positive pregnancy test this pregnancy, the levels were going down for progesterone and they should be going way up. So that was automatically a sign, and the doctor's like, would you like to go on that? You don't have to because the studies aren't so clear whether it helps or not. And I said, yes, it doesn't hurt anything. Why not? Let's do it. So that's what I did, and I thought it was making me so sick, but I think that was just the baby, because after I got off of it, I felt no different. So that's pretty clear that it was not the progesterone, it was actually baby Connor making me so sick. And now it's becoming so real, since I'm out of the danger zone. I know no one's promised tomorrow, and just because you're over the 12-week mark doesn't make it magically perfect and okay. It's all under God's plan and up to Him, but I feel a little bit more comfortable relaxing this pregnancy, because between scans, especially before the first one, you just have so much anxiety. Pregnancy after loss with your rainbow baby is so scary. Every twinge, especially with your first full pregnancy, like, I don't know what to expect. Every little twinge in your stomach or uterus, you think the worst, and you know, you just second guess yourself. You just are full of worry, and it takes so much positivity and prayer and reassurance that everything's okay to get through, because it is so scary. And that's what I've been feeling like. So now I feel like I can breathe and think about the future a little bit more now and get excited. So now I'm just trying to picture what he'll look like, what he'll act like. Will he be a mini Cody? Will he have my chin dimple? Can he wiggle his ears? Will he have the amazing memory that I have? Will he have fingers like mine, because my fingers are different than Cody's? He has like the clubbed thumbs. You know, will he have clubbed feet like Cody and his dad? Hopefully not. It looked good in this ultrasound. We'll know more further along. But, you know, just what's his personality going to be like? Is he going to have the blonde hair, pale skin, baby blue eyes? Like, it's just so exciting to think about what he's going to look like. And I can only just compare baby pictures of me and Cody, and I just have to hope and pray the combinations of our looks will mesh well together to make Connor. We'll wait and see. But that's just so exciting to try to imagine what our little baby will look like. Trying to think of other stuff for this trimester. Any symptoms I've experienced? Pretty much like all the 2-week wait symptoms have kind of dissipated. You know, I still have like sore breasts. They haven't really gotten that much bigger. I haven't had to up a size and bra yet, and they just are swollen and just a little bit sore. It's kind of like PMS almost feeling. Trying to think. The itchiness under my armpits that I got right away after my first positive pregnancy test have finally gone away. Thank the Lord. I just had to stop using deodorant and stop shaving under there for a while till it went away, and then I got to go back to doing that, luckily. and the rash is gone, or the itchiness is gone. Yeah, nausea has let up. I don't have extreme food aversions quite as bad as I used to. I can eat more healthily. Before, it was like I could only eat awful junk food, and that was all, and it was just limited amounts, if that. I've been a little tired. I don't notice that as bad. I've been sleeping really well. I have vivid dreams, but I have vivid dreams a lot, even not during pregnancy. Yeah, I've been trying to keep up walking with Lucy, which is hard because she pulls and it pulls my stomach. So I have to find times where it's not crazy outside to walk her. I've been slowly buying baby items over the last few weeks, and I'm getting my nursery set up around here, and I'm so excited to show you guys the finished nursery tour. It's becoming more real. People are more like, oh, let me get that for you so you don't have to bend over and bend down. I'm like, okay. It's like, oh, what do you want to eat? I'll make something special for you if you don't feel good. I'm like, okay. The family has been so sweet. Cody's been so supportive. He's been really doing a lot around the house to help me, especially with my nausea and the smell aversions, and just, he's been just really, really wonderful. Lucy's been good. She lays on my stomach, her little head, and it's so cute. Yeah, I'm just so excited and so happy and ready to meet this baby. And I can't picture my body changing any much more than this, but I know it will. But it's so slow, and it's, you know, I'll go week to week thinking I haven't progressed at all, and then I'll compare those weekly pictures and say, okay, I do see my stomach growing from week to week a little bit, if I compare it. But yeah, I just have the miracle of life inside of me, and that is such a blessing and awe. I'm just in awe. But the miracle of life is incredible, and I about can't believe it. You know, if it weren't for ultrasound, I don't know if I would believe it, to be honest. It just seems so surreal that my body is able to do that. The gift of being a woman, I can bring life into this world and grow life inside of me and be okay. Incredible. Pray for a healthy birth. Let me show you ultrasound pictures. So this is my first ultrasound picture. Baby was 7 weeks and 1 day. Actually, I think he was measuring a little bit lower than that. That was just what it was supposed to be, but he was 3 days behind, like he has been the whole time, because I'll be late. So this is that little white thing is the baby. So that was like 6 weeks and 4 days, or 6 weeks and 5 days, I believe, that he was measuring. And at that point, we didn't know the gender yet. I was going the next day to get the blood draw to know the gender, but I was just so grateful, and we were able to hear the heartbeat at that point along. So grateful. The ultrasound tech did not want to give me any pictures, so I barely got this one. She was not too friendly. A lot of them aren't. And then I went back 2 weeks later, so he was measuring 8 weeks and 5 days. And he actually looked like a baby at this point, and that was just miraculous. You could see his, you know, head here, his arms and his legs and his trunk there, laying sideways. He's been laying that way the whole time, so I guess he doesn't move a lot right now. His head going that way to the left. And this ultrasound was at 11 weeks and 1 day. And it was incredible because we could see his side profile of his face at that point. His nose, his mouth, his like eye socket, his forehead, like that's his jaw, those two lines, his body, his legs. I mean, like a person. Absolutely incredible. And the placenta's forming here. I mean, amazing. Look at that. And then, yeah, 2 days ago, look at that. His head, his nose, his eye, his mouth, his chin, his ear, neck, trunk, butt, leg, knee, foot, leg, foot. Look at that. And that placenta has grown right along the side. There you can see his legs better. Little foot. And that was the one where I was explaining earlier, his pinky finger right there, his fingers by his head, that's looking from behind him, his spine, head, arm, elbow, arm, hand, fingers. And that's his boy parts. That's the underneath shot. The arrow's pointing at it, which is with his foot right around. Oh my goodness, I could not believe it. How do they see that? And then my bump shot. He is the size of a peach now. hard to believe. Let me show you the side picture that I took. Size of a lemon or a peach. 13 weeks, there's my bump. You see it protruding just a little bit there from the side. Very cute. Before long, the bump will get bigger than my butt. And that will be weird. That would be really weird. I'm also trying to decide what to do with a stomach. I luckily have never had to deal with that in my life. And so do I put my pants band over the bump? Under the bump? What's going to hold my pants up? Or just get maternity pants? I don't know. Like, I don't know how to dress with a bump in my stomach. Like, I don't know what to do with the stomach. So it's been just so weird to me. How? And then, am I supposed to poke it out? Like, am I supposed to wear tight shirts? Because people don't know I'm pregnant. Are they going to think I'm fat? Like, I don't know what to do, and it's crazy to me. When I laugh, it shakes a little bit, my belly, and it's like, looks like I've eaten too much. I don't know about this. I'm ready for it to be a very pronounced bump that people are like, ah, you're pregnant. Because now it just constantly looks like I've just eaten too much all the time. So that's just a new feeling to me. So funny and so weird, but I'm loving it. I'm loving every second. I cannot wait to feel them kick. So I can't wait to share with everyone the next few updates. And Connor is 3.5 inches long right now and weighs almost 2 ounces. Quite surreal. I love my little apps on my phone to see him grow every week. But what a miracle. See you guys later.